Alright guys, we're going to talk about how to attach a swing arm to a PVC fitting and a rotor or spray pop-up head, any assembly to a swing arm. These pre-made swing arms have Marlex fittings on them, which is a type of soft self-sealing plastic, so you don't need Teflon tape for them. You can thread them right into a PVC fitting. The key is when you thread it on, you don't want to thread it super tight that it's impossible to move, because you do want to have some movement in the swing arm, but you also want to have a little bit of stiffness in it too. So you don't want the swing arm to flop around like this, because there's a chance it's going to leak. So you want to tighten that on, not too tight to the point where it starts to click and you can't, at this point I can't turn it anymore. That's too far. You want to have it back one half turn and just have enough room. You can almost hear it clicking like that. So it's tight, it's sealing. If I want to set it to a certain height, it's going to stay there. It's not going to fall down by itself. And that's the same with the heads and the Marlex. Usually these swing arms come with the Marlex pre-installed, and typically they come in, we've already tightened this one before the video, but typically they come about this loose, which is a bit too loose. If you have your head on that and you're trying to set it to a certain angle, it's going to want to just fall down. So you want to have that tightened on to a point that, again, it's not super tight, it's not over tight, but it's stiff enough that you can set your head to whatever angle you want and it's going to stay there. The swing arm will sit up and the head will stay in position as well. And that's the same with the head. You want to tighten it on again, tight enough that there's a good seal. It takes a bit of effort to turn that head, but it's not taking He-Man strength or Thor strength to get it turned. The other thing when we're setting these rotors, every rotor has a start position. So typically with these rotors, if I turned it around this way so you're looking at it in the right direction, you can see how it stops in this direction. They're preset to 180 degrees. They can be adjusted up to 360 using this dial right here. But every rotor has a position that radius starts. Typically it's on the full turn counterclockwise. So as far as it'll go back counterclockwise is the starting point. That's most rotors. Some start on the other opposite side, but typically with the Rainbird, they're on the counterclockwise turn. So if you turn it all the way back counterclockwise till it stops, you know that is the start position of your spray. So when you're setting this in the ground and you have a certain direction you want this rotor to spray, you don't want to set it so that it's off angle to where the start point of your spray is going to be. You want to turn this head and get it set really close to either down a cedar hedge line or down an edging line, so this is almost lined up exactly where it's supposed to start. And as you come back, you turn it and say, okay, here's my edging, I'm lined up with my edging. So now all I have to do is just how far this rotor is going to turn out, whether it's going to be 90, 180, 270, and then it'll return back to that set start point as well. So when you set this in the ground, always make sure you turn the head all the way counterclockwise to its start point, and as you set it into the ground, you're about to backfill around the head, make sure that your nozzle position is where you want your rotor to start, so that you don't get it all backfilled and then you gotta get in there and try and turn the head, and it'll be really hard to turn once it's all buried in the soil.